going back to section 8.4. So we had 2 questions left there about the sample size. So the minimum sample size for estimating a population mean is given by this formula, and the minimum sample size required for estimating a population proportion when we know the level of confidence and we know the error then it is given by this formula. So how will you recognize whether you have to use the first formula or the second? Depends on what information is given. If you are seeing the word mean in the problem, then it will be the first formula, and if you don't see the word mean and you see percentages or the word proportion, then of course it will be the second formula. So here is our first example. So determine the minimum sample size needed if we wish to be 90% confident that the sample mean is within 2 units of the population mean. So this is given a little bit like different wordings. So what does that mean? It means the sample, if the sample mean is, sorry, I should have put X bar here. So it is saying that if we have our population mean will be within 2 units of the sample mean, means the difference between the mu and the X bar, like the population mean and the sample mean, it will be equal to plus minus 2. So remember we were doing this X bar minus mu is going to be plus minus 2. That's what we are saying. So what do we add or subtract from the sample mean? What is done, subtracted and added to the sample mean to get the confidence interval. So we add error, remember. So we can say now here that error is 2, like here, so that now we can plug everything in the formula, which is up here. This is the first formula. So n will be equal to z alpha over 2 times sigma over E. So our z alpha over 2 is 1.645 from the found from the critical table, critical values table, and then we have our sigma, which is 8.4, and the error is 2, and we get 47.734. So minimum sample size is 48. Remember, we always round up. So this automatically rounds up, but still remember we always round up. So this will be the final answer. The second example is saying what is the minimum sample size needed for a 99% confidence interval for the population proportion if previous studies indicate P equals 0.54 and we desire no more than 2% margin of error. So P here will be the same thing as P hat, because remember we can estimate a population proportion from population from the sample proportion, but in the formula we need the P. So P is 0.54 as this error is 0.02, and the confidence level is 99% or 0.99, so the Z alpha over 2 will be 2.757 from the critical values table. Plug it in this formula, the one with for the proportion, and so plug in and then plug everything in your calculator. We get a decimal point, we get 4720.25, but remember that is not the sample size, it must be a whole number and it must be obtained by rounding up the actual answer. So that was 4720.25, so the minimum size is 4721. So this is how you can find the sample sizes. Okay, we will now move on to chapter 10.